friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The revolution starts now.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Turn those machines back on!
And we have to start by building a wall, a big, beautiful, powerful wall.
Show me the money!
You are fake news.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
I don't know when they decided that they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
Well, that's a revolution here on Lake Effect Radio. Not only we have some new people in the room, the Ready Fuels are in the house.
What's up?
How's it going?
You guys seeing out trouble on a rainy day?
I mean, I don't know, I suppose. I pretty much woke up, went and got James, went to David's, and then came here, so as much trouble as you can get in a car, I suppose.
My socks are wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say that too. My slippers are not too waterproof.
You should know better.
I do know better. That's why I always bring a second pair of
Are
socks.
you a true Ohioan?
I am a true Ohioan. I'm wearing
Should know
pants
better.
just for show right now.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
No doubt.
I gotcha. So, want to go around and introduce?
Yeah, sounds good. Good.
Okay, we'll start with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
James Canner. I'm the bassist.
I'm Steven Turner. That was really short. My name's Steven Turner. I'm playing drums.
I'm David. I'm an alcoholic. I'm just kidding. My name's David. I play, or I sing.
AKA alcoholic.
AKA.
Hey, probably the same.
I'm Brennan Hege. I'm playing guitar.
We also are missing one more, Alex Dagner. He plays guitar as well. Shout out to Alex if you're watching in.
Yeah.
Something.
You can
watching
say that on
in?
the radio.
Yeah. I could say that one.
Yeah, you can say that.
Not where you could sit there in the little chat box or send text message and make, you guys sit here and think about questions and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm horrible in giving people ideas.
Well, we're
It
here to be
happens.
interviewed, so I mean,
Oh. Woo! It's your turn for the hot seat.
yeah. So
Well, since you didn't have a drum set,
yeah, that's true.
I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask, where did the name come from?
So, so if you don't mind, I got a little bit of a story.
Okay.
So we were originally called Swim Through. I worked with Steven here producing some pop music. And after a while, I decided that pop wasn't really my forte. Music sounded great, but it just wasn't. I wasn't vibing with it. So I started writing some rock and roll, and from there, I decided to ask these guys if they wanted to start a band. And when we started writing the newest record, me and Brennan had a conversation where we were like, "Swim Through is a little bit of a weak name for how loud and heavy this record is." So I'm a huge fan of the band Amberlin. And they've got a song on their very first record called Ready Fuels. And I was like, got a hold of Brennan. I was like, hey, man, you like Amberlin? He's like, yeah, I love Amberlin. I'm like, what do you think of the Ready Fuels? You think that's a cool name? He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. So that's where we got the Ready Fuels.
Yep.
And I think it fits our sound a little better.
And it's kind of funny. We were having that conversation, and I was like, on one hand, it's like everybody's gonna be like, hey, you stole it from Amberlin. And I always thought, like, if we ever do an interview, we can say, yes, we got the name from Amberlin, and just own it, and it might work. So
So hopefully Amberlin doesn't call us up here soon.
Yeah. Well,
never know.
Yeah.
They broke up, and now they're back. So we can just say we came up with it when they broke up.
Yep.
And not on us. So
Except the video proof that or is this,
that's true.
that story out there.
Hopefully they don't watch then. Amberlin, look away.
Nah, they shouldn't have a problem with it, I hope.
No.
They're good guys.
Yeah, they're pretty
I
rad.
think. I don't know.
I met him once.
Did you meet him once?
Yeah. I mean, it was at the Live Festival, and I walked up and was like, hey, and they're like, hey, thanks for coming. And I was like, okay, see you later.
So now you're really good friends with
Oh,
them.
yeah. I mean,
I know all their first names.
We cool.
I know other first names.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Ready Fuels.
How would you best describe your style of music in the band for someone that hasn't heard about you guys?
So we rip off Amberlin?
No, not even a little bit.
No, we don't rip off Amberlin. I do have a Logic file sitting in my computer right now titled that, but we don't do that. No, I think the best way to describe us, I think I was talking to you about, me and James were having a conversation the other day where we were talking about our influences and whatnot. And I said that, like, I'm heavily influenced in, like, blues, rock and roll, and then I grew up on a lot of, like, punk, like Green Day, Sum 41, some of the older punk, like NoFX and things like that. And when I started an older band, I was trying to fuse the two, make it like heavy rock and roll, but still a little bit of blues in it with the same. So that's why when we started this project, I wanted to still have that element. We're a little more like bigger punk than it is blues, but we have a song on the record called "She's My Lover, Harder to Please," and it's more of the blues vein than anything else on the record. So
I gotcha. So I gotta be this person.
Uh-oh.
So out of your own music, top 3 songs that best describes the group.
Probably would be the single that we're releasing, Something to Say, is probably the one that's going to be the biggest describer. That was produced by Steven here. That one was a shot in the dark, man. I sent him this really terrible demo and said, "Hey, man, what do you think of this song?" And he's like, "Sounds like crap. Can you come to my studio and re-record it?"
I'd say a close second is gonna end up being It Might Mean Nothing. Just that's like the vibe of the band, of the guys. You know what I mean? Just kind of like has like that fun, dancey part, and I think it's gonna kind of be what our live show like really is about.
Right.
So yeah.
I gotcha.
I don't know if it's a third.
Yeah, I think the third, I'm really excited about the intro track to the record.
Yeah.
It's just called Intro. It's about a minute 40 seconds long, and I was like, I'm just going to turn the fuzz way up on this guitar, and then I'm just going to start screaming the whole time. And, well, no, I don't scream the whole time, but I scream for a good first minute, or for the first end of the... Jesus.
Nobody's counting.
We're past the 6 minutes.
He said it was the whole song.
Yeah.
It was only a minute and 2 seconds.
I want my money back, man. You should have brought your drum set. There's a lot of that in there. But no, man, for the last like 30 seconds, I went hard and I started screaming, and I sent it to Brennan and I sent it to these guys. I was like, "What do you think?" And they were like, "More of that." And I'm like, "Oh, I gotta scream more."
Yeah, speaking of that, the song that I just mentioned, It Might Mean Nothing. It was like the first day I'd went over. Me and David like kind of go back, but it was the first time I'd seen him in a while, and he was showing me this new stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of experiment with like kind of more like dirtier vocals," and I was like, "Okay," and he shows me like the like kind of like the early bridge, I guess, of the song. And he's like has a super like gritty like rough vocal, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make you do that all the time now. That was like spectacular. So
I was like, that's actually gonna destroy my vocals. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it all the time, but it's in a lot of our songs. Yeah.
To a point. No, I gotcha. Then, so I'm going to throw this out. This is going to be a little bit of a twist than what you sort of think at first. So if you could either work with or produce or play with anyone that inspires you, who would that be?
Let's let our bass man take that one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite producer or artist?
I'd have to go with like Robert Trujillo back in the Ozzy days.
Oh yeah.
He had a lot of melodical bass, and that was one of the things to first like inspire me to get out and play. And grew up on classical music, being in an orchestra and everything, playing cello and double bass, and so Robert Trujillo really stood out with me, and it's just moved up from there. So I'd have to say Trujillo and the Ozman.
I mean, if we're going with like big artists, I think I would like to like work with like Royal Blood, those guys, because they have ultimately one of the sounds that I'd like to try to emulate in our band to make our own. and not to stroke my buddy here a little bit, but I'm telling you what, Something to Say would not be as good as it is. It hadn't I not have went to Steven and recorded that. We recorded a lot of the guitars and stuff, and Steven was like, man, we need like a high guitar here for the chorus just to bring that out. And he takes my guitar and he's like strums his chord and then finishes it out, and I'm like, dude, this is it. So he turns around, teaches me, we play it, and then it turned that song into something completely different. I don't know if you got something to say about that.
I think, honestly...
No pun intended.
The funniest part of that session was when you called me a wizard. You kept calling me... I don't know why, but you just kept calling
Because it'd be
me.
like, I'd go in there and I'd write this riff, and it'd just be a guitar riff, nothing fancy, but he'd like turn around back to me and just start doing something, and then he'd turn around and hit space and then play it, and I'm like, you're a wizard, dude. And he just his wife would sit there next to us and she'd laugh at me because I'd just be like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're waving some wand to make the song sound so good.
What about you, Steven?
What? Who do I want to work with?
Yeah.
I want to work with Dr. Dre, but that's got nothing to do with our music.
Totally perspective right there, bud.
Don't we all?
I mean, I'm just, Dr. Dre. That's just me, though.
I'd work with Dr. Dre.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'd say my biggest like influences on like drums and guitar and vocals even and everything is Aaron Gillespie from Under Oath and The Almost, and he does solo stuff and studio stuff now. He records and produces, but really just Under Oath as a whole kind of like inspired me musically. Like they're the first band that I would watch their interviews and watch their like studio updates, and I was like, I need to be in that. You know, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to hang out with the guys, be recording music. Just they made it look so fun, and like it was so great. Their music's so good, and just the way they write stuff is like super inspiring. I guess like a close second is Mumford and Sons. The way they talk about their process of writing is like so cool.
What
and,
opposite ends of the spectrum that is.
Yeah, right. I mean, to a degree. I listen to way more opposite things, but yeah, just as far as like just to work with anybody, just for whatever project in any degree. Yeah, that's probably my two.
Quick story about Aaron. Aaron Gillespie of Under Oath. When I was in my last band, he put on like Twitter, said he had time to record one record this summer. This was 2 years ago, I think, something like that. So I sent Aaron Gillespie an email, not expecting anything, with two of our just crappy demos that we had, and sent it to him. And he emailed me back and was like, "Dude, I'll record you guys for $5,000." Never ended up getting to do it because I didn't have $5,000 on me. But that was it was so cool to get an email back from him to be like wanting to record me.
Have him lay down like a
feature.
Yeah, like vocals or something, or even drums. Like
that'd be killer. No, I think my drummer in that band would have been mad.
Yeah, probably.
Nice. Now I'm going to take this really out of the ballpark. So if you guys made it big, you can have anyone open for you. Whether it's nationally guys or local guys.
Amberlin.
Who would you want?
Yeah, we'd show them.
Should we do it collectively or,
your
individually?
choice?
We're going to start over on that end.
To open for me, honestly, okay, I'm going to geek out for a minute. There's a local band, it's not together anymore, called Come Wind.
Oh, yeah.
And if they would get back together to play, and if we were like really big, and just to, give them the opportunity, and just because they're the guys, dude. Like, they're probably to this day my favorite band, and they're like a local band from New Philly. So, Come Wind. Yep.
I think for me, it would be a super strange show, but I would love to resurrect BB King from the grave and have him open for me. That would be sick, because he is just the father of blues rock and roll, man. He's a god. So if I could revive him, he'd open for me.
It'd be like having Joe Pass play with Katy Perry.
And that's what I'm trying to say. It'd be a strange show, man, but it'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be cool.
People would start leaving for the headliner versus showing up. BB King played. That's
That's probably what would happen. We play that intro song, like, ah! They'd be like, "I'm out."
Yeah,
I'm
what?
gone."
What just happened?
The devil is here.
I don't know.
Here, I'll help you.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd probably have to be like Zeppelin or something like that. Just one of the things I grew up on as a kid.
We got Greta Von Fleet. I mean, it's a close second.
Have you heard them yet? Greta Von Fleet?
You might have and thought it was Zeppelin.
Honestly.
You might
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
I'm seeing them in like 2 weeks.
They're good.
Really?
Yeah. So
Very
at
nice.
Bunbury Music Festival in
You're
Cincinnati.
gonna have to tell me how they are.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be rad.
Maybe you guys
sure.
should go together.
We can hold hands and stuff.
Yeah.
My dreams are finally coming true.
Dreams are finally coming true. That's
I have to admit, that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You gotta have humor in life.
Yeah.
I know. So come on, Steven. Don't be the silent one.
He said Katy Perry.
Well, I said Amberlin.
Oh, you did
Oh,
say
Amberlin?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's really who you would want, Toby?
No. Probably Taking Back Sunday. Just,
Oh, yeah,
Just
you're-
because. I love those guys.
I'd be down.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every time I go to your house to work on something for you, like he gutted his house recently, he's remodeling it. Every time I go over there, he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna put some music on." It's always Taking Back Sunday.
They're good.
No, they are good. They're good.
There's just certain things you
They're very
ride
good.
to get stuff done.
It's just it was strange. You're like, "Hey man, Amberlin." I'm like, "Nah, dude. There's another band. Go ahead, get another second."
That's funny. So, with that,
Way to make
if you
noise.
Yeah,
I
Zach.
know. Damn it, Zach.
Oh, we can say that word. Yes.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
6
now.
seconds.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you already took your.
Yeah, you took my 5 seconds, man. 6 seconds.
Not technically, because I said it. You could say
Oh wait,
it.
so we get 6 seconds for
So if
one
we go
person?
around in a circle.
So we can do this giant acapella thing right now. It's like,
Yeah. That's going on the record, by the way. That's funny.
Appreciate that. So, if you had to pick one song that best describes the group,
That
of
isn't
your
our
own.
own.
No, I was going, but that's not a half bad question too.
I think we already did one of our own songs that describes the group. So
That's all good, but I think
Top
still
3
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
of your own work.
I still think that Something to Say would be the song that we've released. You guys have been playing it, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so Something to
Yeah.
Say is on rotation right now through Lake Effect. I think that best describes every time anybody's like, "Hey man, what like you got a band? Let me hear some stuff." I send them Something to Say.
Mm.
It's just so good. Not
Fair
to toot
enough.
my own horn.
Yeah, it's what you can expect mostly, I think, from our show. Like we have we kind of throw it around a little bit, just because we're all, we all love music and we all love different styles and stuff. But
from
something
very
to say,
diverse like areas of the
Yeah.
music spectrum too.
definitely. But I feel like something to say. It's like if you're wanting to come up to our show, that's kind of what you can expect. Like that's the vibe you're gonna get. So
Okay.
mm.
So, if you had a choice of any venue in the world to play at, where would it be?
Ooh, Red Rock. That would be cool. Being outside, playing at that venue is such a beautiful venue. That'd be awesome. At least for me.
Everybody's looking at me.
Don't worry, I'll help
There
you
you
out.
See, I didn't even know it was my turn.
I wasn't
In my
the only
defense,
Well, no one jumped up.
I would. I'm gonna. This is gonna be cheesy, but I'm gonna go local again. I'd say the Eagle Project, just because those are my boys, and yeah, I would like. Let's say we got really, really big, and we were selling out like stadiums and stuff. I'd like make a way to, find a venue for the Eagle Project and play there. So
Go back locally, show everyone where you're
But
from.
you know,
Yeah.
it's one problem with that.
what's up?
Is what is. Jeopardy. Come on, think Jeopardy. What is?
the Eagle Project?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Gotcha.
Took me a minute.
I know.
What is the
my
Ezekiel
random
Project? Yeah.
segments.
We actually, I'll let him explain it because he knows a little bit more about it. But we actually got a hold of them to try to do some like graphic design work or T-shirt work. I think.
Yep.
But yeah, tell them what it is because it's actually a pretty cool project.
Yeah, so basically the Ezekiel Project. You're welcome, Rick, for this. So the Ezekiel
That's
Project.
not Rick. That's a cabinet. Dad joke.
Especially if he's blue. You might want to get out the freezer.
But no, the Ezekiel Project. It's a just an organization in New Philadelphia, Ohio, and it's basically this guy. He moved back to the New Philly area after being away for a lot of his life, and he was like, this area there's so much potential here, and we need to showcase it basically. And it's so he just put together this thing. They do screen printing. That's kind of their primary thing. But they're at the Ezekiel Project. It's, if you know the Daily Grind, it's right behind that. If you know the area, you should go check it out. It's a big black like garage basically. But he was just like, yeah, let's get this place. We'll do screen printing to kind of keep it funded. But then he just lets any artist that wants to come in, put their art there. To just bring their art and people can come in and check it out. He organizes a whole bunch of stuff just in the area for creative outlets and for, basically if you get a hold of him, you're like, hey, I'm doing this creative thing, I want support. He'll be like, cool, I have people, I have resources, I will do whatever I can myself. And, just a bunch of people that like a lot of my friends and myself, he just gets a hold of us and, anybody that's willing to help and says, let's make this happen. And that's just what they do. There's no gimmicks or anything. They just want Rick, all you'll hear Rick talk about is getting the local area, in that kind of environment of, creative outlets for people and, just a better environment in the community. I can give you so many examples of stuff he's done and what, the Ezekiel Project has done, but that's, the idea. So.
Fair enough. Yep. Now on to you guys.
Oh, are we still on the venue?
I think we're still on the venue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of our side note.
Yeah. Little tangent.
Yeah.
See, I feel like nobody ever thinks of this, but I'd love to play SNL.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's literally what I was going to say. I would love to play on SNL.
SNL would be like, yeah. Or the Grammys. But,
wow,
you have to be actually good to play on the Grammys.
Wow. Dog in his own band.
Yeah, that's my choice.
SNL, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That or I'd just love to meet Questlove, so like Jimmy
yeah,
Fallon.
No doubt.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
Yep.
But other than SNL, I'd have to say it'd probably be like the Super Bowl or the MGM.
Super Bowl has like a bad track record the last couple of years though.
I don't think
like,
they actually
true, but-
songs.
Like how many people are at the Super Bowl?
That's true. You're in front of the
True.
Super Bowl
That's
with all
true.
cameras and millions of people. That's a good point.
I mean, you mess up, you're already there. You already got your money.
Right.
So
Well, to a point.
yeah, I'd still
You
be
probably
happy
at least
with
get half of that.
$100,000.
you
Didn't
think?
hurt JT.
Well, no,
Yeah,
like the bad example right now would be, is Maroon 5 taking a hit?
Well, no publicity is bad, I guess. So.
Well, with sales and all that.
That's a good.
Think about how many people started talking about Maroon 5 again, once that happened.
Yeah, plus in a streaming world, when you hear that a band is like did something crappy, a lot of people are like, "Who are they?" And then they go listen to it, and then they make money anyway.
Yeah.
That's a real quick point about that. Not gonna name names because I don't. There's an artist that I know. He's not good at all, and it's a little heartbreaking to be honest with you.
Good.
But he gets more views and plays because of that than like somebody who like put their hard-earned time and effort into
I know
it
one of those too.
with and it's really good. I don't know why that logic's there, but it's. I think because people like to see people not do well.
People like to hate.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, go look at this or watch this guy do really bad at this thing, and it's like, come on.
Now here's the best example of that we can actually probably all agree and heard of. Think Rebecca Black.
Yep.
Yeah, Friday.
But she's apparently got like record deals right now.
Yeah.
Like she's still making music, but it's.
But that first song,
Well, yeah.
God, that was god awful.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah, but she got a music video with Katy Perry So
This year,
She did?
Yeah, she's in what
I think
Dream or something. I
something
don't
like
listen
that.
to Katy
I don't
Perry.
know, it's forever.
No?
It's
Hey, you made
forever
it
ago.
farther than I did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Is it something you want to tell us?
I like Katy Perry
There we go.
in both kind of ways.
Oh.
all around.
Hey, that wasn't on our list. We could say it.
Hey, it's not on the list.
No, I wasn't thinking that, but okay. I gotcha.
Yep.
So, what would be your 1-year plan from a year from today that you want to see you guys accomplish?
I probably have the answer to that because with so I'm kind of like say this in the nicest way. I'm kind of the main vein of the band, only because I've done the music, set the shows up, stuff like that, other things. So and now Brennan and I have more been like working on like merch and stuff like that. So now we're starting to integrate everybody into the thing. But I had already formulated a game plan when I decided to start this project. So right now, we are finishing the EP. It's just about done. He's finishing one song, and I'm finishing another song. As soon as they're done, the EP's finished. We just ordered a bunch of merch, which will be available here pretty soon. June 28th, we are playing our EP release show with some sick bands. We're playing with Levon, the Liquid W's, and a band called the Lowsiders. We're releasing the EP, doing the show. We're hoping that's going to be real big. That's over at the Empire Concert Club in Akron. From there, it kind of hits a brick wall, only because we are making this show as big as we can. After that, it's kind of now we're just going to start trying to get ourselves in the circuit, start playing more shows, start getting stuff like this, some more interviews and whatnot, some write-ups, and then we're all going to sit in a room and then start writing the full length. So that's kind of the game plan right now. I've got a second kid on the way in August. My son Holden will be here somewhere around August 16th. So that's obviously going to put things on a little bit of a hold, but me and my wife are going to try to figure some things out, make some sacrifices and see if we can make it happen and then go from there. But 1 year plan right now is to get to the show, play the best show that we can with these guys, because these other bands are really good. I'd recommend checking them out. And then we're all going to get into a room and then just start writing a full length and like really formulating our sound and and go from there. So that's the 1 year game plan. I don't know if these guys had anything different in mind.
Just get together fully, all together, grind it out until we get it so perfect we can do it with our eyes closed and everything behind our back.
Yep.
Yeah, just play music. Just rock,
I wasn't going to play music, but...
Yeah. I don't know.
I felt you got something.
You got something to
I
say?
don't know if I do or not. Do you?
There's a lot of puns with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I think
So many puns that come to mind.
It might mean nothing to you.
Yeah.
But I have
Yeah, that might mean nothing to you, but I'm gonna
It's a long
for the rest of
title
the
for the
interview.
EP, man.
Yeah.
Everything that any question you ask me, I'm gonna say, well, this might mean nothing to you guys, but I have something to say.
Yeah.
Because it's everything to me.
Yeah, it's everything.
We're going to work it through pretty good on this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that was a long EP title, but there's a band called Trash Boat, and they've got a real long
They
title.
sound classy.
Sound classy. No, they're a hardcore punk band. So they're not classy. But they had a long title, and I was like, I like the idea of a long title, so that's why I wrote it out like that.
I gotcha.
So
what would be your dream tour that you guys would like to do?
Amberlin.
Like everybody on the show, I'd say.
Not including states you want to hit or anything like that.
I gotta say,
I'm-
I'm just cool with we could play with the worst band in the world if I get to go to Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I would like to. I would like to hit the road at least one time before I die. Like I'm hoping the band can support itself enough to be able to do that. Because taking like 2 weeks off and hitting the road, starting like New York and shooting all the way to Cali, that would be sick. But as far as like bands, I mean, I know for me personally, it's gonna be a little different from these guys. But like I said, just gonna reiterate, like Royal Blood would be awesome. A band called 68 would be really good. And then I think to trump all of those, which I hate using the word trump, but that's another story for another day. we did you have to censor that one? He started reaching for the board. I thought he was.
Don't say that name.
I thought he was hitting some buttons.
It's not on the list.
Well, no. I told you before. We don't have a delay.
Yeah, you did. I just saw you reaching for the board, and I'm like, crap, I said something I shouldn't have said. No, but what would like be my top one for me would Gary Clark Jr., guitarists like that. There's another band that has a name that we can't use, but I would love to play with him too. Like those two guys, if I could play with them, I'll tell you guys off air so you can hear who it is. But those two guys, I would love it. They're just inspiration for guitar. I love how Gary Clark Jr. is like that, essentially like a modern day Hendrix. Puts his own twist to things. He's just so good. Gary Clark Jr. is the man.
I got a lot of him playing at my wedding.
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh! I was like, did you get Gary Clark Jr. to play at your wedding? No, that's cool. I love Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah.
In the flesh, he's playing at my wedding.
Yeah. On a button, you push him.
Yeah.
And it works.
You get like a hologram pops up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we had that.
Yeah.
Technology.
Tupac still does concerts.
Well, doesn't Freddie Mercury too?
I don't know. Did he?
Or no, not Adam Levine. Who's the Adam Lambert? I think he actually plays with Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they do the hologram thing with him.
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I thought I heard that rumor, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
True.
True.
The tour question.
He's gonna say, "Come win," and
yeah. No, for real. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but no.
He's already, going in about the whole thing of, well, I have something to say.
Something, yeah, right. I was just
already
thinking
messed up there.
I was thinking about how many puns I could get in this before I started.
We're gonna have to start keeping a count.
Yeah, right. You get like a counter. Ding, ding.
There.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I was
Steven's
gonna say
really
the
tired. If you can't
whiteboard.
tell.
Dude, I woke up like, I don't know. I woke up like right before I got here. Shoot, Rage, probably Rage.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But
That would fit us.
post God Complex or pre God Complex Zach De La Roque.
Either way,
he's
as
kinda
long
a
as
jerk.
they play Guerrilla Radio, I'm good.
That name reminded me of somebody.
What, Zach De La Roque?
Yeah.
Reminded me of my brother Zach.
No.
Hi, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Zach's shooting photos for us over there.
Yep.
Can't see him.
No, mine would be We Would Open. And for, like, if I'm thinking of, like, bands that would actually fit us and people would actually show up because it made sense for the tour.
Not like BB King and
Right. I would say probably Coheed and Cambria.
Coheed.
Maybe even like Beartooth would be on it.
Ooh, I didn't think of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense for sure.
Guys, I don't listen to Beartooth.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't.
I don't.
And
I'm surprised you play in this band because we do scream. He doesn't like screaming.
yeah, hardly. But
I like yelling. I don't like screaming.
I do
There's a
yell
difference.
more than scream.
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, Caleb Shomo's vocals though. Anybody can get behind that.
Anybody could, except Steven.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
If I'd be behind it or
Who
not.
knows? Yeah. I don't know. Probably those two. We'll just make it those would be the headliners, and we'd get
Beartooth
like,
would be sick because they're huge right now.
yeah. Well, yeah, Coheed's getting really big too. They're blowing up.
Fair enough. So, what was that first thing that got you into music?
Oh, that's a good point.
I was
I
like
th-
7,
Don't worry,
dude. I
I
can't
got
remember
you.
that far.
Let's go back in the day.
This is the new single.
Yeah. Dude, you're not supposed to release that yet. This is
It's called Elevator.
I think for me, getting into music was okay. So growing up, I was in the church a lot. So my parents were pretty strict about the music we listened to. You couldn't any of those words you have on your list. We couldn't listen to. So we listened to a lot of worship stuff. Well, getting into that, I realized that like I like playing music and stuff. So I got into like a worship band with the church. Started playing worship music, and then I discovered punk. And realized, and like bands like Under Oath, like metalcore stuff. and realized that I could get like Christian versions of like the bands that I love or bands that I was like interested in, but weren't vulgar, you know, that I wouldn't get in trouble for. So I started listening to them, and then a couple guys at school started showing me the opposite end of the spectrum, were the bands that weren't Christian, but they weren't like, you know, being jerks, I guess you can say, or saying bad words or anything. So I started getting into that, and then I just eventually now it made me like feed for more. I just wanted more music. I'd tell my buddies, like, hey man, I'll go buy like CDs. Can you just pirate me everything you can get? So he'd just get me everything. I had piles of CDs, and I just listen. And then one day, just from playing worship music and being in front of people and playing and realizing like people were interacting with it, I'm like, I want this more, but not on like a worship vibe. I want this, like, I want to just be at a show, people jumping and dancing and moshing, whatever, you know. I wanted people to react to what I was playing than just standing there like with hands up or something, you know. So that's when it got me into music, and then that's when started my whole music career. I asked my parents for a guitar, they got me an electric guitar, and then the rest is history. You can say that's what corrupted me.
I swear, he goes, and then everybody's like,
look right at Brennan.
I don't have a cool story. I just liked playing guitar.
Yeah.
I was just little. And
All right, so he went. Now it's your turn. We're gonna do zigzag.
All right. I mean, no, mine's similar. I guess it's kind of a blend of theirs. Like I just, my group of friends growing up, we kind of all just started discovering music together. And I don't even know what it was. I didn't even really think I knew what a bass guitar was, and I didn't really understand the concept.
Is it yours?
That's mine.
Can
But
I get
anybody
some
can,
of that?
take some.
Is this the community water?
Yeah, it can be. I don't know.
I only have 2 types of. Wait, can I say herpes?
You only have 2 types?
Well, too late now.
He's got the good type and the bad type.
Yeah.
At least we get best of both worlds.
Yeah. They're like trading cards. It's 2019.
It's like you got the limited edition one and like the, you know, whatever.
I just don't want to see the moment where we're like showing them off and trying to trade. That'd be weird. Listen, Jeremiah's over there like rolling his eyes and hitting his head. This is tame for us. You should have heard the conversation we were talking about in the car up here. We're not clean.
No, seriously, we get here and Steven's like, David, look at the list. Yeah. Look at the list right now.
I'm sure my brother probably said the same thing.
Yeah.
David also walked in and said, "Do you guys have PBR?" It's a dry campus.
It's not too dry. I got water.
Yeah.
Not technically. If you rented out the mansion out back, you could.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Let me just pull my wallet out.
Is it open
and
at
get
all
right on
times?
that.
No. Only for weddings, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So technically, it's sort of a dry campish.
Campish. Yep.
But you have to rent out that thing out back.
I think we can live without PBR for a couple minutes.
Maybe.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, we
speaking
interrupt
of that, do you or anybody, I don't know if maybe on Instagram, if anybody's watching right now, or any of the platforms we're on right now, if anybody has any local food places for us for afterwards.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I
we
am
are looking
so
for recommendations.
hungry,
I am so hungry too.
Yeah,
We're gonna go grab some grub after
sustenance.
this. I think that's the title of our next record.
Fat and sustenance.
Fat. That's the title of our next record right there.
There we go.
But yeah, no, get on Lake Effect Facebook or our Facebook or Instagram, and
Tell us.
if you're in the area, tell us. We like food.
But what we were on the middle of a question and tangented away. If that's a word.
What was the question?
That works for me.
Okay.
Tangential?
What was the question?
Oh, how you got into music?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you remember where I left off, I was talking. So my friend group, growing up, we all kind of got into music together, and at the same time, and I thought bass guitar was when I just really discovered it and understood that there was a bass and a guitar. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, that's my new life goal, is to play that. And yeah, I started playing in church, and the first time you play with somebody and the dynamics start raising and you start hitting these stuff and you just hit the notes together and you can feel it. I was like, I want that feeling all the time. if I could just play music constantly. And now it's almost like, I'm sure, like, especially drummers talk about it a lot, like that people call it like the drummer high that you get, when just like the rhythms are, coming together good, and like you just feel that like adrenaline from the music, playing the music. And I just am like on a constant search for that now. That's just all I want in life, is to play music. And the band, The Chariot, which actually is 68's frontman was in that band. They said on an album, like a studio update, they were like, yeah, we come to the studio, write music to go tour, to go play music. Like this is just, a necessity for going out and actually playing the music live. And I love that. I'm like, I love writing music, and I like that process too. But yeah, I can have that same vibe. I'm like, I don't care what we're playing, just please pick up your instruments and let's play music. That's just what I want to do. I want that, to feel those dynamics and feel the music happen. It's just.
When Brennan and I had the conversation to turn this into an actual band and make this a real thing, it's funny you mentioned about that. It's because the only reason we're really releasing an EP is so we have content to go play shows. It's like, sure, we're very proud of these songs and we think that they're killer, but at the end of the day, we wrote them just so we can go play. We were like, people can listen to this all the time. Steve and I are going to make it sound as best as we can, and that's what we tried to do. But on top of that, the whole thing in the background of our head is that, like, we're going to go play these live. That's why we're writing this. We're not just, we don't really want to be like a studio band. Like, we want to go play out. Because I was in a band beforehand. We played all over Ohio, and I loved it, every second of it. And I'm sure he used to play with a band called The Stray. They played all over the place. He used to play in a bunch of bands. What was the Hammer, Heaven Hammer or something? Heaven's Hammer. He played in a band like that. He produces for a guy named Clapper the rapper. They play out all over the place. They played with some big names. We all love playing music and stuff like that. So that was the whole point of this project, was like, let's get back on stage. Let's go for it. So I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was yeah.
When you said that about the Chariot, I'm like, dude, that's like literally what we're doing.
Yeah. But no, that's true. Yeah, like we were. I mean, yeah, David and I know each other basically from just the local scene, music scene, and him and he was talking about like getting into it. I was like, I got you, man. I'm in the same boat. Let's do this, So, yep.
I feel it.
I'd probably have to say it all started when I was a little kid, always listening to the Doors and stuff like that, and just thinking they were just so cool and everything
crazy
like that. It just progressed from there. When I got a little bit older, I figured out everybody in my family pretty much played music, and so I just wanted to keep on passing the torch and everything. So I ended up getting an orchestra. I started on cello, moved to double bass, went to bass guitar, messed around with drums a little bit, but drums weren't really my thing. It was just something to take frustration out on and just smack something a little bit and not get in trouble for it. And but no, I ended up getting to the bass guitar and everything like that, and from there, I've met people that have helped me progress, and I've taught people. Like I taught Brennan back.
Yeah, I'm a student of James, believe it or not. Yeah,
and it just over time, it's helped me progress to get to the point that I am now. And like I was telling these guys, I can't remember if I was saying it in Brennan's car or in your car. But when I was in college, they had these things called Bass Nights In. We went to this little like jazz club and stuff like that, and there was this blind guy that would play bass, and he was just super, super good at it. And I always liked talking to him, and he's like, well, if you want to, I can hear that you can play fast. We're like, okay. So he said, how many fingers do you use? I said, well, I use my main two fingers, my pointer and my middle finger. And he said, okay. Well, what about your third? I said, I use it when I gallop. I said, other than that, I really don't use it. Well, we put one of those little medical sling things over my finger and tied little tiny like lead weights and everything to it. And he said, play for 2 days like that, and at the end of the second day, take it off and you'll be able to use your third finger. And just by that little movement of the finger being like this when you're playing, I was able to use my third finger. And just over time, it just progresses and becomes that you don't know who you're going to meet in life that can take you to that next step.
Not to take away from what you were saying, but that whole time I'm looking at you and wanting to just go, that's what she said.
I know. I'm just like, all right, where's the line? Where's the line? What's the line?
I saw you look at me, and I think you saw me smile. I'm like, I'm just going to hold on.
Because
He's checking the list. Like,
You're checking it twice.
Checking it twice.
No
Sorry,
Santa Claus
Christmas
pun.
isn't here yet.
That's a big yikes. That's what that is.
It's Christmas with a P.
Sorry, I'm drinking all your water.
Oh, you're good, man.
Christmas with a P.
Not including, where should people check you out at?
So we've got a couple of outlets. We're still in talks about doing like an actual website, but that's not official yet. So you can find us at the Ready Fuels Official on Instagram, and then likewise on Facebook. Those are the only two spots we're really being. I put that up earlier.
I didn't even see that.
It was when you were out of the room.
Yeah. That's really where you're going to find the content. We are more active on Instagram with the stories. You're going to see more of like when I'm at the studio with him, or him and I are jamming, or like if we're playing with James. You're going to see more content with the stories. Facebook's going to be more for like events, just quick updates like when we came out to here, stuff like that. But eventually we're going to go to we're going to get a website and stuff like that, and whatnot. But that's pretty much where everybody can find us, right there.
Yep.
And all of our links are in the bio and everything like that
Yeah.
for our personal pages and everything. And
Good point.
Check out our awesome, very interesting personal lives.
yeah. I think the last time I posted on Instagram was like months ago.
Yeah.
And I realized I was looking at your Instagram and looking at my Instagram. It's just all of our kids.
Yeah.
We're rock stars, man, but we just got pictures of our kids.
I just don't post.
It happens.
Yeah, he doesn't
It's been
post.
like a year now.
I try to. I have I think I deleted them now because it got a lot. But I had like multiple posts that said, "Okay, I'm gonna start Instagramming now.
Yeah.
Like this is my, here I go. This is the first post of many." And then it'd be like that was March of 2012, and then it would be like February of 2013. Okay, I'm gonna start Instagramming now. And now finally, I was touring with a band called The Stray.
You
and
jinxed yourself.
How so?
If you
Oh, you
think.
mean, yeah.
Just kept on, posting the same thing after
Right.
a while.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't break
he
the
just
cycle.
jinxed
So,
them.
but yeah, I was playing with a band called The Stray, and they were so good at being like on their social media and stuff, and it got me into like staying on my Instagram, and like trying to promote the band through it, and that helped. But yeah, I ain't no good at it. So.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah, I got
enough.
so many pictures of myself. I just look at them. I'm like, I look homeless. I look homeless. I look homeless. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Oh, I got something in my beard. I look homeless.
There's a groovy picture we're gonna be posting of James here coming up. He's on stage with his 6 string. He's got this little tie.
Yeah. It's actually a big tie. Like I was talking to you. I went to my doctor's appointment not too long ago, and he's like, he like looks at me and looks at my weight chart and everything like that, and he's just like, you don't look as big as you are. And I'm like, I don't know if it's an insult or a compliment or like what's going on here. And he's just like, well, let me measure you. And he like goes from the bottom of my foot up to my hip, and he's like, huh. I'm just like, all right, what's going on here? And then he goes from my hip to the top of my head, and he's just like looking at me. He's just, and he goes, I noticed like a 2 to 4 or 3 to 4, somewhere in there, 3 to 4 inch difference between somebody's like leg length to their body length. He goes, but yours is 13 inches different. And I was like, yeah, I got short little legs. I said, my fiance, she's like 5'1", and I said, my legs are like the same length as hers, and I'm 6'3.5". Like,
Oh my god.
I got these little legs. It don't help.
You're just made to be a linebacker. You're
Yeah.
low and huge up top.
So if anybody jumps up on a stage, I can either use this big dome to knock them off or whatever else.
All headbutts. Don't stop playing.
Until you headbutt the whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
That's a soundbite right there.
Yep.
You were close, though. You were close.
It was the chair.
How much more time we got? Because I got.
Oh, we got time.
Okay, because I got a couple more things I want to talk about.
Okay.
But
taking over this
I'm taking over. I'll tell you when I'll leave.
You tell them about that. I'll tell you when I'm gonna leave.
It's just a stupid thing. We were in the studio one night, and he's mixing some stuff down, and we were real vibing on this song. And he started working on something, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "You can go," and something along these lines. He's like, "You can go whenever you want."
It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, "You can go home whenever you want," or something like that. Which I was just like, it's getting late. I know you want to get home or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, no worries, dude. I'll tell you when I'm ready to leave." And I was like, so it was like a couple minutes later, we're sitting there, and I was like, I know what you meant.
I didn't even mean it to be like offensive.
But that was like the rudest thing anyone could ever say.
I'll tell you when I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so I'll tell you when we're leaving. No.
Yeah.
It was funny.
So, sorry to get. This is gonna get a little serious here.
Okay.
So the point of the record, we got this new single coming out. This single comes out next Friday on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, blah blah blah. Called "Something to Say," produced by Steven. Produced by Steven.com.
Steven.com.
Plugs on plugs on
plugs on plugs. That's his website if you want to work with him. But for real though, the record is called "It Might Mean Nothing to You, But It's Everything to Me," and I wanted to talk about that real quick because through writing this, there's been a couple of kind of internal battles I've been having with myself. I'm getting a little bit older. I'm only 28, so some people might roll your eyes, but I'm getting a little bit older, and when it comes to music, that's like 50 years old. You're getting late to like try to make it and to go on and do things.
Yeah.
And on top of that, me and my wife have kids, and we're having our second kid, and I go to school full time and work full time. So the point of this record was to showcase that, a comment a family member said to me at like a thing was like, I said something about the music, and it's like, "Oh, you're still doing that?" And that kind of got under my skin a little bit. It's like, well, yeah, I'm still doing it. I love making music, even if it's in a garage or a basement somewhere, and it's the worst thing you've ever heard. It's like I still love putting my passion into it. And then I had an issue with a friend of mine who I kept saying, "Hey, let's get together, let's practice, let's jam, let's get this band going." And he just was like, "No, I just want to do it for fun." And I'm like, I'm kind of overdoing it for fun.
Yeah.
I want to do it for real. Like I want to play. I want to put what I have to say because I have something to say. I want to put it out there. So the point of the record, as I was saying, is that no matter how old how
all of us are laughing.
There's the fun.
I was going to do that.
I'm sorry to mess up the serious moment.
Well, you did the ding, and I know what you meant, but like I saw your finger do this, so in my head I thought something else.
I was pointing at the.
We're gonna have people like making edits.
We can't
like,
say
pun
it.
counter
Yeah, we
in the
can't
corner,
say it.
and like just like it's montage of all the puns.
We'll go through and put the words we actually meant on it.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to what I was saying. The reason I titled the record that is because every song has got a theme. Something to Say is about like hey, we've got something to talk about, man. I'm tired of people telling me you can't do this, you're getting too old, or you've got a family you got to provide for, you got to do this and do this. I know I have those things to do, and I'm doing them. We want to be able to do this too. You can't sacrifice your dreams because you're getting older. Too many.
Yeah.
Steven and Clapper, not to plug him again, but they're working on a new song together, and without ruining too much about it, he says something in his song about how all his friends kind of gave up on their passions. And I'm like, because they're getting older, It's like, I don't want to be that 30-year-old guy who just goes to work every day, then comes home, and then does nothing. Like, I want to show my kids that I'm making music, I'm doing what I love, I'm passionate about it, and I'm doing it with my friends, I want my son to see, two kids, he'll be here soon, to see that, and I want them to realize it. He'll be here soon. He's on his way. Yeah. Bags are packed, flights booked, he's on his way.
The stork is arriving soon.
So it does get a little intense on a couple of songs. Like I really put my heart into some of it. Like we've got a song, actually the song that he's super excited about called "It Might Mean Nothing." I'm in there and I'm pretty explicit in the song. Like, dude, I don't have the time that young kids, like our guitar player Alex, he's like 22 years old, I think is what he is. He's a young kid, so he's still got plenty of time to do it. You were getting a little bit more on my age. So we're running out of time.
Just a couple months.
Yeah, just a couple months. And you're younger, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. We're running out of time, man, and we want to make it happen, So that's the whole point of this record is that no matter what, just keep pushing for it. Don't give up because you're getting older. Don't give up because you have a strict sense that society wants you to do. Don't do it. So that's the whole point of this record. You're going to see a theme. It's not a concept record, but essentially it's every song has got that element of just like, I'm tired. And I'm tired of doing it for fun. I'm ready to go,
Break away and be
I
you.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So. And, not to say that we're like anything to look up to or anything, but like, you know, Dave was just saying, he goes to school, he has, you know, working on a second kid, he has a wife, and he works full-time job, and it's like, he's trying to do it, you know what I mean? He's still, you know, him and I are talking all the time about, you know, he puts in work, you know, for this band, and, like, so don't, if you really want it, and, like, any musician that has talked to another musician, and you start talking music and you just connect, you're like, I know exactly what you mean. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that feeling and knows that conversation. And if you have that in you, you know, don't do the, I have this job, I have this going on. Like, you know, you can make it happen. You know, it's just, you just got to do it, you know?
Right. So that was my tangent for that. I just wanted, that record's coming out. It should be out a week before our show, which is on the 24th. So it's whatever, the 18th, I think, something along those lines, whatever that week is before. Haven't set an official release date, but something, whatever that Friday is before the 24th. That's our release date.
Just check our Instagram every, like, 2 hours.
That's June, right?
June, yeah.
Yep.
The 18th? I was right?
24th.
Or no, I'm sorry.
No, 21st.
It'd be whatever the 20. So the show's the 28th, whatever was before that. The Friday before that.
21st.
21st? Okay, so the record will be out the 21st. And then
Thank God for calendars.
Thank God for calendars.
Thank God for digital calendars.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I had to pull that one up.
Yeah. So that was it. Just wanted to make sure that you know, because this, you know, when everybody says, "Oh, you're in a band," oh, okay, cool, you're in a band. It's like, yeah, we're in a band, but and sorry for the pun again, but we do have something we want to say to people, man. We've got a message. We want to get it out there. And like I said, you come to a show, you're going to see it. We've got a show planned. It's going to be sick.
I got
A lot of PBR.
A lot of PBR. Maybe a little Jack Daniels if my wife allows me.
Gotta ask the wife.
That's a funny thing. I was going to actually go to that. In
What?
a way. Sort of the meaning behind the single.
Yeah.
And all that.
The single more explicitly is about a friend of mine who we decided, well, we didn't really decide. It's just we're kind of butting heads right now. And I kind of was like, and that's kind of what it is, you know. And it's about like people essentially running their mouth, and you're just kind of like, hey man, listen, cut it out. That's essentially what the song's about.
So, I love music. This is what I'm doing. Like, say whatever you want about it. I really don't care. Like, I'm just gonna keep, you know, doing what I'm trying to do. But yeah, and that he literally said, he sent me a message that said, hey, I need a little bit of help with some lyrics. I want this to be about just our love for music. You know, like, it's a really simple concept. You know, just, you know, we're all, you know, same theme as, like, something to say and all that. You know, we have something to say about this music. We're trying to do it. Like, don't give up on trying to do it. But also just, yeah, there's just a theme, especially in the EP, I'd say, with the title, you know. It just says, we're into this, you know. It's just really simple, you know, just vibing, you know, so.
Yep. And shout out to Carly for all the artwork she gave us for our EP and a single and all that stuff. She's awesome. You got claps there? Yeah!
Clap, Carly.
She'll be at the show, so catch her.
Yep.
She does a lot of good work.
Actually catch her.
No, don't catch her. She's
strange.
yeah, that did sound strange.
I gave you $50. You can catch me.
Hey man,
falling off the stage. If it's a foot chase, you catch him.
hey, I'll do it for free.
What's that?
Hey, baby girl.
Oh, snap.
Man, you don't even
Is
know.
baby girl on the list?
Is baby girl?
No, it isn't. You want me to play the recorded track while we go and get his guitar plugged in?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so we have prepared for you guys. We are going to play Something to Say. Brennan and I are going to play Something to Say acoustically. So while we're setting it up, feel free to enjoy the actual single. Again, produced by Steven.com.
That is my actual website.
That is his actual website.
I was going to
Now,
say.
is that VEN or PHEN?
VEN. VEN. Yeah, so if you want to work with Steven, man, hit him up.
Yeah, Steven's get all fired up about that.
I'm just kidding. If your name's Steven with a PH, I respect.
We love you. Please buy our merch.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, enjoy the song, guys.
It's a local music spotlight here on Lake Effect Radio. The Ready Fuels, Something to Say.
A big man in the house comes walking my way. He's got that look in his eyes like he's ready to play. This ain't no time to run away. So I told him, just lay down here and die. I'm sick of running your mouth, it's all just sounding the same. Eat this dynamite, stop speaking my name. I've got this fever now, you better look my way. I've got this fever now, you better look my way. Just lay down here and die. I can't hear you going, throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I've got to see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. Think twice when you see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. I've got to see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. Think twice when you see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. I can't hear you going, throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I can't hear you going, throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I've got to see this through. Here they come for you. I've got to see this through. Here they come for
And we're back.
Check.
You guys ready?
Ready to screw my lyrics up. Here we go.
Let's do it. Nobody will know yet.
All right, this song's called Something to Say.
Alright, wait, no, that's the other song. This song's called Something to Say. Ready?
Yep. A big man in the house comes walking my way. He's got that look in his eyes. I don't know what you're saying.
He does have it plugged in.
You're not plugged in.
You're fired.
We will get this.
I'm sitting there thinking, well, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't hear this thing.
We should have done a line check.
Or is it not in the head?
We should have done a line check before.
Oops.
Good.
All right, hold on. We didn't do none of this. Isn't live. Nobody saw that. We're gonna do it again. Just kidding.
Good thing we're not live.
Yeah, good thing we're not live.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and start the live recording right now. Ready?
Yep. Big man in the house comes walking my way. He's got that look in his eyes like he's ready to play. This ain't no time to run away. So I told him, just lay down here and die. I'm sick of running your mouth, it's all just sounding the same. Eat this dynamite, stop speaking my name. I've got this fever now, you better look my way. I've got this fever now, you better look my way. I can't hear you go and throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I've got to see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. Think twice when you see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. I've got to see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. Think twice when you see this through, 'cause you never know what's gonna come for you. I can't hear you go and throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I can't hear you go and throw me away. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. Shut your mouth, it's all worthless anyway. I've got a feeling you've got something to say. I've got to see this through. Here they come for you. I've got to see this through. Here they come for you. Thank you. It got a lot hotter in here.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's the single. Something to say.
You've got no mic. That's the single.
No, I muted myself.
That's okay. We're just probably just gonna plug.
Oh.
But anyways, guys, we are the Ready Fuels. Thank you again for anybody that tuned in. Thank you, Lake Effect Radio, for having us, man.
No problem, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Doors are always open.
Awesome. Let's do this tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah.
But anyways, yeah, the Ready Fuels official Instagram and Facebook for now. Eventually a Twitter and eventually a website will show up. Just follow those and you'll learn all that. We do have merch coming. We've got T-shirts. They just say the Ready Fuels with a beautiful skull. Our buddy Austin.
Austin Camban.
Austin Camban,
Check out
yeah.
his project, his rap thing, Camban, at Camban, I think.
Camban Music, I think is what it is.
Camban Music, yeah. Great rapper, great guy.
Yeah, he designed our new logo for us, so shout out to him. But yeah, so it'll have that shirt, that logo on it, $10. We also have tickets for our Empire Concert Club show, June 28th. We're playing with Levon, the Liquid W's, and the Lowsiders. Tickets are just $5. We've got them on us, so hit us up if you want one. And we're also going to do some, not really raffling, but some. We're going to give away some free merch that day too. So come on out. You might get a CD, and you might get a shirt. Whispers.
I was seeing if we're still live.
Talking about
behind the scenes stuff on the air. Nice. But yeah, man, that's cool. Thank you for having us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, no
thanks,
problem.
guys.
Thank you for coming out. We'll definitely be in touch in that. About doing some other crazy stuff along the road.
We better be allowed to say that next time.
What, crazy stuff or that?
Crazy that, not crazy stuff.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Fair enough. We'll work on it.
That is crazy stuff.
Yeah, true. True.